We are coming to you live via Facebook streaming, YouTube streaming, and also via Skype. Each one of you is welcome to this live streaming from our studios in Trinidad. You are connected to from wherever you are connecting. Sutras of Vigyan Bhairav Tantra, returning to the existence, bringing out inner darkness, bringing out inner darkness. There is two things, moon and the sun. Sun is the center of the universe, cosmos, and moon is reflected through the sun. According to Sufis, there are three things, nafs, kalb, and suluk. Between nafs and suluk there is kalb. So kalb is the center of the inner universe, like the sun is the center of the cosmos. Kalb is the center of your inner cosmos, and suluk the mind. Mind is a reflection synonymous with moon, and kalb synonymous with sun. Sun is the source of heat, energy. Moon reflects that energy. Feeling comes in the heart, and when they are reflected through the level of the mind, they become thoughts, feelings, and other things. So the moon is a symbol of coolness. Nights are cooler, days are warmer. So you can bring the inner coolness out when it is needed. You can bring inner warmth outside when it is needed. So Sufis use, when they give the tawajjuh from the level, from the realm of suluk, it is to bring out inner coolness. And when tawajjuh is given from the kalb or the heart center, it is to bring out the inner warmth outside. And these two are necessary that masters use from time to time. So in the same way, the sutra says you can bring inner darkness out. When it is not hot, he is trying to bring out the inner cold in order to balance the inner and outer. And when it is cold outside, you are bringing the inner warmth to maintain the warmth of the body. When it was hot, he was trying to bring out inner cold, and it can be felt only in contrast. When it was cold outside, he was bringing out inner heat, and it can only be felt when there is a contrast, but he is not an enemy of the body. It is a sheer nonsense. He was doing nothing of this sort. He was bringing out the inner. This was in relation to Mahabir. He was protected by the inner. Just as Tibetan Lama can create heat and they can perspire while this snow is falling and it is extreme cold. Mahabir would stand under the hot burning sun and he would not perspire. So balancing the outer environment, the heat or cold, with inner. He was bringing, there are certain substances, it is said, because in Indian subcontinent There was no heating system in general. The places are made differently, not for air conditioning or the central heating. So there are windows and the opens. So for that very reason, it is said there are certain substances or ingredients. In combination, they generate the heat in the body to maintain the outer temperature in a way that in winter you do not feel cold. So there are certain things during the winter time. We remember as a child, the mother will make certain kind of delicious dishes which has ghee, the clarified butter, source of energy, whole wheat flour with roughage, wheat, German wheat bran is a source of energy. All the dry fruits, almonds, cashew nuts, pistas, edible gum, all these are the source of energy. When they are consumed, they generate the body, the heat in the body, so you can maintain the balance the outer cold. But this can be done by bringing out the inner warmth, or you can do it by creating these dishes. You can keep it, and it is said it is very warm tendency, so do not eat in summer. So these were made during the winter season only. Similarly, you can bring your inner darkness and that feeling when you are bringing out your darkness or dark thoughts. It is very cooling. The feeling is very cool. If you can bring it out, you are protected by it. No excitement, no passion will disturb you. You are bringing the darkness out, and you will begin to feel cool. And if you bring it out, you have to make an effort in the beginning. It is very normal way. You want to run, you want to start the car, you need extra energy to start the car. To start your running race, you have to take extra energy. Then when the momentum comes in, the things becomes normal and automatic. So in the beginning you have to make an effort, then everything becomes natural and spontaneous. If you bring it out, make an effort, just as when you make an effort to do the jogging, in the beginning few steps were difficult, then everything becomes natural, spontaneous and easy for you. To begin something is always difficult. During the winter, to start the car is always difficult because the engine is cold, the outside temperature is cold, so some devices are used. So you can start it. Once it starts, it gets a certain amount of warmth. You are bringing the inner warmth of the car by starting it or by using some other device. You are bringing the inner heat, generating the heat within the car's body, car's engine, to gain momentum and move forward. You are bringing the inner heat outside. You are bringing the inner cold outside, and once you bring it out, you are protected by it. No excitement, no passion will disturb you. Once you tumble the car, the inner heat is generated. It generates the heat. Everything becomes active. Now nothing will happen otherwise. These three things you have to do. What you are supposed to do? Three things. Number one is stare in darkness. with open eyes. Normally, when there is darkness, we are afraid that we may stumble, we may fall down, we may hit something. Stare in darkness, first thing. Stare in darkness with open eyes. Allow the darkness to enter within. Stare in darkness with eyes open and allow the darkness to enter within. This is the first step. The second, feel darkness as mother's womb. You are entering the mother's womb. And the darkness that you are seeing all around is nothing else but the womb of the mother. Now live with it. Forget about yourself, more and more be in it. Then the third thing will happen. You have to do the third thing. Carry a patch of darkness in your heart wherever you go. Just as in darkness, wherever you go, you carry your phone which has a light, or you carry a torchlight. So first thing is stare in darkness with eyes wide open and allow the darkness to enter within. Then second, feel this darkness as the womb of the mother that surrounds you from all sides, and you are in it. The more you are in it. And thirdly, carry a patch of darkness in your heart wherever you go. Just as you carry the light wherever you go. In the darkness, if you are going, you carry a torchlight, you carry a candlelight, or whatsoever it is. If you can do this, this darkness will not remain darkness, it will become light for you. You will be enlightened through darkness. Mahabir became enlightened only on the dark nights, new moon night. Rest of them, whether it is Osho, whether it is Krishnamurti, Raman, Gurdjieff, Ramakrishna, Vivekanand, all became enlightened on the full moon night. If you can do this, darkness will become the light, and it is the light of awakening, and you can be enlightened through it. When a moonless night is not present, when a moonless night means new moon is not available, the phases of the moon is waning, is changing from new moon to full moon. Then close your eyes and discover the darkness before you. Opening your eyes, first you are sitting down, you close your eyes. If there is a light in the room and you close the eyes, you will not see the pitch darkness. You will see a kind of a grayish effect, as if the light is peeping through some source. So, close your eyes and find the blackness before you in a moonless night. If the moonless night is not present, there is some light. Then close your eyes and find the darkness before you, and then open the eyes and see blackness. That is the method, that is the sutra. First, feel it inside. What happens? When an architect, the planner, feels a thought within, a chef feels a thought within of making a dish, he feels it within, feels it deep, feels it so deep it has materialized within him, and feel it deeply so that you can perceive it outside. And before making the particular dish, the master chef sees the dish in front of the eyes. When a planner makes a design, makes a map, a three-dimensional, as he is making the map, drawing the plan, the entire structure is in front of the house, in front of his eyes. He can see the entire structure and he can explain to you very easily. So, master is that master planner who sees something. You can be as a master chef. You can feel the dish that you are going within, how you are blending different things, and how the effect of each one will be blended into one another. And then you can perceive it out. Then open the eyes and suddenly feel it out. It will take time. When I create a herbal combination, I visualize what is needed to be done. What are the different herbs and their qualities for immunity booster? A combination of herb is created. In this, number one, there is turmeric. The active ingredient of that is curcumin, rich source of B complex, vitamin B complex. Then there is amla, Indian gooseberry, which is richest source of vitamin C. These two things are there now. Then something to boost up the immunity, to add up, to enhance the qualities of curcumin and vitamin C, amla. Then you are using the giloy, a leaf, a herb that builds up the immunity system and enhances the quality of these two herbs. Along with that, you need protein and other sources of vitamin C, because you are told not to eat one kind of food when you are eating different dishes in your meal. So, like almond is one quality of oil, its ingredients are slightly different, both are protein. The cashew nuts is another protein. Then there is pistas, another quality of protein. When all these proteins are blended into one another, you can call it a kalalu or cocktail. When you are doing this in religion, the orthodox mind says that is prostituting. But the very fact is all these things are put together, enhances the quality of one another. You can eat just a flat bread. Why do you have to add butter to it? Why do you have to add cheese to it? Why do you need a protein source, dal? Why do you need vegetables? All these combinations create the health, improves upon your health. So then turmeric, but now all these things have been added. But now mind plays an important role. You can eat something, but your mind is not into it. So then ashwagandha and brahmi. Brahmi is, I forget the other name for it. These two herbs are added to it. Then something that will blend the qualities of all that, then another herb was added. So when turmeric, amla, ashwagandha, brahmi, giloy, moringa, and peepli were added. They became to enhance the immunity. So, in the same way, when you are feeling, I felt it, then try to create the dish, create this herb combination, and felt it so deeply that you can perceive it out. Then, and when you do it that meditatively, the herbs becomes a very important herb as immunity booster. It will boost the immunity. So a master chef first creates a dish in his mind, imagines what different ingredients have to be added to it. If you are working to bring out the nutritional value to add the nutritional value to your food, then you will see the ingredients that are used. You have a complete understanding of different ingredients, and you are putting together in a harmonious way, blending together. The master planner, he has been told what to do. He has to draw a plan for a house. So by the time he draws, it becomes so familiar with it, he sees it materialized. But it will take time for it to come up. And you will not be able to see. That's why the three-dimensional model is created, and that model is put for display for people to come and see. So it is in such a way that people can get an inner view of it. That is the method. First, feel it inside. Feel it so deeply, as deeply that you can perceive it out. Then open your eyes and suddenly feel it out. It will take time in the beginning. In order to be a master chef, it takes time. If you persist in that, you will get the hang of it. And if you keep on jumping from one to another, then you will not be able to gain anything. I stick to one profession, and in that I am not jumping from here to there and there. Within that, my field is spirituality. It works, it has three dimensions: the body, the mind, and intellect. So how to create a balance between the two, how to enhance the physical immunity, the mental immunity, and the immunity of thoughts. So for that, the food is an important aspect. For mind, another, then meditation. So with that, if you continue doing this, faults disappears forever. And if you can bring the inner darkness outside, faults will disappear forever. Because if the inner darkness is felt outside, and you have become so cool, so silent, so unexhaustible, that fault cannot remain with you. Because of the inner darkness, you feel tired very easily, you feel frustrated very easily, you feel disturbed from the circumstances and situation very easily. Some of you would have experienced when you are within the energy field of an awakened one, things begin to change in such a way that you call this as a miracle. How your energy level has changed. What have you done special for it? You have more energy. Thoughts are flowing in a better way. they are more focused, the physical energy is more. At every level there is an improvement. So what it is happening through the meditation and through the presence of the awakened one, the inner darkness sometimes comes out. But the more you become conscious of it, so something is happening already, and you become conscious of it, then the process gets accentuated. It gets momentum. It gets impetus. And then faults disappears forever. So whatsoever was your problem, whether it is relating to relationship, your own energy, how to deal with circumstances and situations, how to deal with people, how to deal with children, how to deal with animate and inanimate things. Earlier on you did not know, you were the great noise in the kitchen, the pans and pots. You are bringing out your inner frustration and inner problems in the form of noise, a musical noise created between the pots and pans. Then walking, talking to the children, husband, wife, mother, father, opening the car door, slamming it, putting the things in a haphazard manner. All these things that were part of your life as faults. Everyone was trying to focus on this, not to do that. That begins to change. How? What have you done for that? But now I am pointing out to you to be conscious of it. The more you are conscious of it, the process will gain impetus. It will get accentuated. And you are moving at God's speed. That is what it is called as God's speed. Then the vehicle starts moving at a particular rhythm. There is a rhythm. There is a sound when the car is starting, and there is a sound when the car is running. See the difference with it. Feel the difference when the car is starting. And when it has started, its sound changes. When it gains momentum, its sound changes. And you are moving at one speed. That faults cannot remain with you then. The fault of starting the vehicle, when vehicle is getting warm and when it is moving. Remember this. Fault exists only when you are prone to be excited. If you tend to be excited, they do not exist in themselves. Your excitement causes the faults to generate. They exist in your capacity to be excited. They are born out of your excitement. Someone insults you and you have no darkness within to absorb the insult. You become inflamed. Darkness absorbs the things. You get fiery. And then everything is possible. You can be violent. You can kill. You can do what a madman can do. Anything is possible. Now you are mad. Someone praises you, again you are mad. To the other extreme. So that is why in Bhagavad Gita, Krishna says, Sitoshna Samadukha, one who is equanimous in heat and cold, in pair of opposites. He is an awakened one. All around there are situations. Every moment existence creates a situation for you to be happy or unhappy. So first you have to move from unhappiness to happiness. Then a moment will come in when happiness and unhappiness, nothing bothers you, you transcend. So this is the sutra which will help you to move from unhappiness to happiness. And then you can transcend one day, and that transcendence happens naturally and spontaneously. All around there are situations, and you are capable of absorbing those situations. Insult a Buddha, he can absorb it. Just like a cloth that is dry, it has the capacity to absorb it. There are certain things, certain pieces of cloth that do not have the capacity to absorb. So do not be that. You see a cotton wool, it has a capacity to absorb. You have seen a sponge, it has a capacity to absorb the moisture in it. And you see a flat piece of vinyl, piece of plastic, it does not have the capacity to absorb the moisture. So do you want to be like a plastic or be like a sponge? It can absorb the moisture. So what we use when there is a problem, we use the sponge to absorb the water and clean the place. Does it not happen? This is simple principle, basic law of life. Why can't you apply it in the spiritual field? The sponge, be like a sponge. Whenever there is a situation, you absorb. In car, there are shock absorbers. What is the purpose of the shock absorbers? The roads are uneven. So there may be shocks, otherwise you are getting a bumpy ride. So shock absorbers absorbs the shocks and give you a smooth ride. The better quality of the cars, you are feeling recently I was reading an article that the trains that are being made in India now, they are running at a speed of 160 kilometers per hour, and a glass of water is kept and the water is not spilling. So Buddha is that. His shock absorbers, his absorbing quality is such that he absorbs everything and nothing spills out. A sponge absorbs all that water that has fallen on your kitchen counter. It has the capacity to mop, to absorb the water that is on the floor. By mistake it has fallen. It has, so be like that, absorbing. All around there are situations and you are not capable of absorbing. Insult a Buddha. He can absorb that shock. He can absorb. He is a sponge like. He will absorb that. He can simply swallow it, digest it. Who digests that? Who digests that insult? There is who absorbs the water? Who absorbs the water? A sponge. A sponge does not absorb. A sponge has an inner quality of absorbing things in it. Shock absorber it is an equipment designed in such a way that it is capable of absorbing any kind of unwanted shock. So your inner pool of darkness is that device that you have installed in you through your meditation, through your austerities, through the presence that you have created in you, so that you can absorb any kind of shock, any kind of thing that is spilling or is about to spill. whether it is anger, whether it is insult, whether it is praise. And then what you do? You use the mop to wipe out all that water that has been. That's why we have mop buckets. So you throw anything poisoned, it is absorbed. Insult is a poison. Praise is a poison. But no reaction will come out. And we have a special absorbing substances. When you are washing the wares in the kitchen, you place it, and the excess water that drips from the pots, that is absorbed by the cloth, that absorbing substance, and the counter remains dry, or whatever moisture little bit comes in, that can be wiped out easily. If all the water falls on that, there will be a situation that is difficult to manage. So these are the absorbing cloths. There are some kitchens, when the wares are washed, we put it for draining, or we immediately put on the absorbing material and wipe it out, so all the absorbing, all the excess water is absorbed by that. You do not put the wet wares in your cupboard. Either you are put them on the absorbing substance, then wipe out with a dry cloth. The wares are dry, and then you put it in the cupboard. A simple technique. Spirituality is not something it has come from there. It is your awareness how to apply these simple things in your day-to-day life. How to apply the ordinary principles in your daily life. Have you ever applied this absorbing substance that is used in the kitchen? When I saw it for the first time, I immediately realized this. This is a device that every seeker has to create in himself to absorb the shocks. You have to create the shock absorbers within you. Try this. And when someone insults you, just remember you are filled with darkness, the shock absorber. The darkness becomes the shock absorber. It is that substance that absorbs any kind of spill, because during somebody insults you, anger comes and it spills out in the form of words, in the form of expression, in the form of gestures. So in a way, it is fluid-like. In a way, the gestures that you express at that time, your tone of the voice is also another expression. The hand and the feet gestures is also a part of that. So your darkness absorbs it. And suddenly you will feel there is no reaction. You pass through a street, you see a beautiful woman or a handsome man, you move towards and feel excited. Feel that moment you are filled with darkness. Suddenly the passion will disappear. Try it. This is absolutely experimental. There is no need to believe. Tantra is not a belief system. You are going through the shopping mall. Your eyes are boggling, watching here and there and this and that, and everything you take is inside. Oh, I have to get this, I have to get that. I can walk through. Buddha was sitting in a meditation under the Bodhi tree. It was a dark night. Some people, they have carried a woman in the forest and drinks. So they were drinking, and so the women, they undressed the women and dancing around her. So when the woman found that the men were drunk, she ran away. So when somehow or the other they got into little bit of became conscious, they searched for that woman and they could not find. So they were searching all around. They saw a man sitting under the tree and he asked, "Did you see a woman?" And she was naked. So Buddha said, "Yes, somebody passed. I felt it, but I do not know it was a man or a woman. And I do not know whether it was clothes or without clothes." So that state comes in. You are passing through the shopping mall where there are attractions all around. And these attractions to create disturbance within you. Then you saw a phone, you saw a dress, you saw a dish, and you don't have the money, so you are thinking all that. So nothing disturbs you. You are focused. You are going to the shopping mall for a specific purpose. You have gone there only to get something to eat. Why to look at the other thing? No, we will just the browsing. That is a very important word. Many times people come here. "Can I help you, ma'am?" No, I'm just browsing. All right, browse around. And if you need assistance, tell me. So we are browsing around all about. And the result is what you are. So stop browsing. Be to the point. I have come to get something and that's it. I am finished. You carry the ladies to the shopping. They are browsing all the shops that are dealing in that particular item. No, this is that. Sometimes when I go to the restaurant, I call the person that this is the order. I am coming, have the meals ready. Oh, you don't want to look at the menu? No. I don't need to do all that. I have come for a specific purpose to have a lunch. I am not looking into my choices are limited. The menu is limited. What I am eating is a balanced meal. So I order it in advance. By the time I go, so I do not have the time to waste. So that's supposed to be the way of a spiritual person. The time that I am spending in the restaurant and gossiping, looking through the menu, can be spent in a different manner. But this does not mean that we were discussing. What are you discussing? You can discuss it within. I am not here to discuss anything with you. I am here to share with you what you have. You can share with me whatever you want to share. And if you have anything to inquire, try this. If someone insults you, just remember you are filled with darkness, and suddenly you will feel there will be no reaction. You have on the counter, kitchen counter, the absorbing cloth, and you are washing the dishes and putting over it. There will be no problem. You pass through a street, you see a beautiful woman dressed elegantly, or the way you approach the dish, the way it appeals to you, you are seeing it, you are attracted towards it. You see a handsome man, well dressed, tall, according to your image, something begins to happen within you. Feel that you are filled with darkness. You have the shock absorbers. Suddenly passion will disappear. You try it. Unless you try, you will not know. This is absolutely experimental. It has no belief system. You cannot believe that I am going to make this dish, and then you have to experiment it. You have to try it. When you feel that you are filled with passion or desire or sex, simply remember the inner darkness. For a single moment, close your eyes and feel the darkness and see the passion has disappeared. The desire is no more there. I had been going to this restaurant for a long time, but I have not seen their menu in years. So the other day the person was saying we have redone our menu. I said, if you want me to look at it, its elegance, its whether the descriptions are given properly or not, I can look at it, and that will not make a difference to you. If I ask you, tell you that this description is not correct, you are not going to change it. So you have, after a careful investigation and careful analysis and understanding, you have designed your menu according to your own inner plan. You have drawn the plan according, the planner has drawn the house plan according to what you have instructed him to do. How many rooms, which one, where the restroom will be there, how many rooms will have a connected restroom facility, whether it is a half bathroom or whatever it is. So you have to do all that. When you are filled with the desires will disappear, you will become an infinite vacuum into which anything can fall and will not return. You are like an abyss. And from that abyss, you are hollow inside. Out of that, the sound of the innerness manifests as the sound of the flute. You are a flute. That is why Shiva says, so faults disappear forever. These techniques appear so simple. Indeed, they are. But don't leave them without trying. Do not intellectually try to understand it. Live those. Don't leave without trying it, because they appear so simple and you think how this could be so, it could transform me. Simple things transforms you beyond imagination. They may not challenge, because the simple things do not challenge your ego, so you do not want to try it, but you still try them. It always happens that we never try simple things because we think they are so simple that they cannot be true. And the truth is always simple. It is never complex. Only the falsehood is complex. There is no need for it to be complex. Only lies are complex. They cannot be simple, because if they are simple, they are caught immediately. So the person who does a crime, he is very complex. You have to penetrate him with many questions in order to discover the truth. And because something appears simple, we think nothing is possible out of it. Not that. Nothing is possible out of it. But because of our ego, it does not get challenged when something is simple. Many schools and many systems have simply complicated their methods because of you. There is no need, but they have to create complexities in order to challenge your ego so that you can feel, yes, this is going to work. If there is no need, but they create complexities, unnecessary hurdles to make it difficult so that you can feel good. The people say that I have simply mentioned that they are Vipassana meditation. No, my method is simple, but they have to go and join a Vipassana class, Vipassana session, where there is a registration, there is a fees, there is a time. You have to do this, you have to do that. This has to be your outfit. That has to be, you have to bring us a meditation, a chair or a stool. You have to sit down on that. So all these things, don't have to worry about. You just come and register yourself, and we will provide you everything, but you have to pay for everything. You have to pay for the chair, you have to pay, or you have to have a particular kind of a gown that you have to use in order to do the Vipassana meditation or anything. So you look at it, how things have been made complex. If something is very difficult, only then you are attracted towards it. Then you feel, now this is something to do. Because only a few things can do, rarely can someone do it. These methods are absolutely simple. Shiva is not taking you into account. Whether you are complex or egocentric or whatever it is, he is simply describing the method as exactly it is and how it should be, as simple as possible. Cooking is as simple as possible, 1, 2, 3, but we make it complex. And if you do not make it complex, you cannot run a cooking class. You have to make the things very complex, then people feel very difficult. Will feel comfortable, yes, I am going to attending a cooking class. If you tell the cooking is simple 1, 2, 3, you have to have a proper understanding of the ingredients, and you know cooking is a balance between heat and your patience, then becomes easier. These methods are absolutely simple. Shiva is not taking into account you into account. He is simply describing the method as exactly it is, as simple as possible, as telegraphically possible. Only the bare essentials he is explaining. So don't try to see how to challenge the ego. These techniques are not to send you on an ego trip. They may not challenge you, but you can try them. They will transform you. So sometimes I do not tell anybody anything. So simply keep on attending to the sessions at least once in a week. Remain in communion once in a week. If you are in a different country, you can communicate through the social media methods, and that's all. They may not challenge you, but if you try them, they will transform you. The presence transforms you. The presence that you create around you transforms you. And challenge is not good, because with challenge you get feverish, you get mad, and this is the ego trip. Now again tomorrow I will take the third technique. So with this, and these are the techniques which a seeker has to take when you have missed your breakfast and lunch, and dinner time you are looking for your breakfast. Means your first 7 years, 0 to 7, the childhood, and the second 7 to 14, the teenage years, have been difficult and have not been lived. Through Tao Overflows, I am explaining the two set of people, one in whom the two cycles 0 to 7 and 7 to 14 were uncorrected. There is one which I will be taking after I finish Vivekananda's tomorrow will be the last session. That is how he entered into Mahasamadhi. Thereafter, 11th of December is Osho's birthday. So on that, his uncorrupted childhood, and in relation to that, how one can perceive the past lives, and how Osho did perceive, went through his past lives, and he had the total understanding of his past lives. So sometimes you go through that, but you have not reached to that state that you can relate the past experiences. No one comes to a master without his calling you. And because there has been a connection from coming from the past, and then you will be able to, you come at a certain time. That is the way it is. There is a power within that knows beyond our knowings. Along the path of life, the soul recognizes the answering soul. Then you recognize, yes, you get the hunch that this is the man, that this is the person, that I can rely on him. Only this much for this morning. Until we meet again, take care and do have a pleasant day.